All right, here's a brief review of all the different muscles. So if we look at the front, so the anterior of the big muscle man, we've got at the top, we've got our trap or trapezius. Going down, we got our deltoids on our shoulders. Across our chest is our pectoralis major. Then we've got our biceps. Then we've got our rectus abdominis. Then we've got the diagonal muscle across our leg, the sartorius. Then we've got the quads or the quadriceps. Then we've got the anterior tibialis. If we look from the back, starting at the top, we've got the traps. Then we got the deltoids. See how they wrap around to cover your shoulders and your neck? Then in the back, there's the rhomboids on your shoulder blades. The latissimus dorsi wrap around your ribs, come from the back and wrap around. Then on this back, we have our triceps, glutes. Gluteus maximus is the big muscle. Then down the side, we have our IT band. Then on the back of our legs, we have our hamstring. Then we have our gastrocnemius, which is our calf. Going a little bit closer in on the back, if you look at the top, we've got our trap that covers all of it. Now we have our deltoid that covers our shoulder. Then if we take that away, we cut that off, and right underneath it is the rhomboid that helps with our shoulder blade movement. Then if we go, that wraps around, remember, the latissimus dorsi. The latissimus dorsi is the muscle right there. Looking at the shoulder, there's the deltoid. Now, looking at the rotator cuff, so this is what moves our shoulder. There's multiple muscles within the rotator cuff. So looking at the front, so the front of the scap is called the subscapularis. It fills the entire scapula, the inside shoulder blade. If you're looking at the back, we've got the top, which is the supraspinatus. Then underneath is the infraspinatus that covers the back of the scapula. And then we have the teres minor that goes all the way out to the humerus from the base of the scapula. So rotator cuff, we've got the supraspinatus, infraspinatus, teres minor, teres major, and also the deltoid. So if you look at number 5, it says the deltoid's cut. It's there, but see, it's cut off so you can see the muscles underneath. The teres major goes across the base of the scap and attaches to the front of the humerus. Shoulder with the deltoid, or I'm sorry, without the deltoid, including the arms. We've got the subscap, infrascap. Then we've got the teres minor, deltoid, tricep. Now if we take away the tricep, looking at the different versions of it, see how there's 3 versions, hence tricep. Chest, looking at the front of the chest. At the top we've got our trap, then we have our delt over our shoulder, then we've got our pectoralis major, the big muscle, and then we have our serratus anterior. It looks like almost fingers within the ribs. Bicep, there's 2 of them. There's the short head and the long head of the bicep, and then you have the brachialis that goes across the joint. So this is where the bicep is broken up. Notice the short head and the long head. Now going down to the leg, we've got our psoas major, which is number 2. It covers the inside of the pelvis. We got number 6 with the sartorius, which is the diagonal muscle across. Then number 9 is the rectus femoris. That's the major quadricep muscle, the one in the middle. Then we have our vastus medialis oblique, which is number 10 on the inside. Our vastus lateralis, which is on the lateral side, number 11. Then our sartorius is the longest muscle in the body. It's a diagonal from the top of your hip, your ASIS, all the way down to your knee. The quadriceps, there's 4 muscles. The rectus femoris, which is in the middle, vastus lateralis on the lateral side, vastus medialis, which is on the medial side, and vastus intermedius. Adductor, so what brings your leg in? So your groin. So we've got the adductor brevis, which is number 3 at the top. It's the shortest one. Adductor magnus is number 4. It's the biggest one. And then adductor longus is 5, which is the longest one. Then we also have the gracilis, which is a little bit smaller and all the way down to the base of the knee. We look on the lateral upper leg, so on the outside. We've got our glute med, which is across the top. Glute max, which is our main butt muscle. Tensor fasciae latae that comes all the way down. And then it turns into the IT band. Posterior upper leg, so coming from the back. Now we've got the glute med across the top. Glute max, the biggest one. Then you have our IT band on the side. Then you have our semitendinosus and our biceps femoris, which is what makes up our hamstrings, and our semimembranosus. So, breaking down the posterior butt muscles. The top is the glute medius. See how it's cut away, but it's at the top. Then we've got our glute max. That's the biggest one, but they have that cut away so we can see underneath it. Then we've got our glute minimus, which is underneath the medius. And then we have our piriformis, which is one that goes straight across on the inside, the deep one. Anterior lower legs, this is the front of the lower leg. We've got our tibialis anterior, it's the main muscle in the front of our shin. Posterior tibialis runs a little bit on the side. Then looking from the back, we've got our gastrocnemius, which is our calf muscle. And then we have our soleus, which is also part of our calf. It's just underneath the gastroc. Then it turns into the Achilles tendon. If we cut away the gastroc, now you can clearly see the soleus muscle, number 2, and the Achilles tendon.